The 20th anniversary of the Reggie Lewis Center at Roxbury Community College will take place on October 2nd. To tell us about the event and some of the history of the center's director, Keith McDermott, and the assistant director of the Massachusetts Track Coaches Association, Rick Yates. Thank you both very much for being with us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Keith, I want to start with the thing that was most interesting to us 20 years ago when we were covering news about planning for this center, is that what was going to be in it for the community? What has been in it?
Well, what has been, we've been true to the original mission, which is to serve as a primary facility for the Massachusetts Public High School track and field community, so on a statewide basis. We're located on the campus of Roxbury Community College, so that the other priority is to be the home for Roxbury Community College athletic programs. And we've flourished from both levels. You know, in terms of the high school athletic track and field community, we've served the entire state, the national championships, we've hosted. Roxbury Community College athletic programs have flourished. They've won national championships, having a dedicated place to train. I think we've had more All-Americans and national championships since the time that the center was established than the first 30 years of the college. So the community in general, we have a membership for the community where they have fitness membership. We got a thriving sensational senior program where they come out and work out. Ages run from 60 to 65 to 94 years old, and they really see it as a home for the community and a resource for the community. Host public events. We've had President Obama there as a president and as a senator. Political campaigns, public hearings for the community, to be a place for the community to where, rather than have a public forum and an issue that may deal with them someplace else, there's a home that's centrally located for them to voice and hear their, lend their opinion to things that's happening.
Everything from the Boston Symphony to Tito's Turkeys.
Yeah, we had the Boston Symphony Sage Gonzalez 25th anniversary celebration there. You remember that. Tito Jackson's had his turkey giveaway. We've also had Paul Pierce and Antoine Walker do turkey giveaways there. So, you know, it's the hub for everything that happens in the community.
Okay, so this history actually goes back more than 20 years, because I remember I even started covering this when we referred to it as the schoolboy track that just seemed to just never get built. So talk about how important it was to finally get this done.
To get it done has just exploded Massachusetts track and field in the high school level. Our athletes, because of this facility, has matriculated to the national level. A lot of the high school athletes have gone on to run some great NCAA championships and actually Olympian level too as well. We've been very lucky in Massachusetts. But this facility has emulated it to bring it to national stature. There's no other high school facility dedicated to indoor track and field in the country. Massachusetts is the only one. A lot of the high schools have to depend on colleges and universities to use their track. This is at the disposal for our high school athletes in Massachusetts. And in the last 20 years, it's been unbelievable to see such a rise in the production, the elite status of our kids in Massachusetts.
So part of this means that they have the facility, the time, some of the equipment, so they could, I guess, develop more.
Absolutely. The Boston schools get the practice there in the afternoons to help rise that program. There's over 110 meets there every winter just for high school athletes. So there's at least 2 meets going on a day, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. So the athletes and the high schools have really benefited, and it's brought them to more exposure for the sport too as well.
Interesting possibilities, I guess, when you've got kids from local high schools maybe crossing paths with athletes maybe from colleges, maybe some professional level people?
Yes, like the Boston Indoor Games every year, they mix it up with the high school, collegiate, and professional Olympians. So that meet interacts with all 3 of them, so the younger athletes get to see what emulates to the professional level that you see in the Olympics like every 4 years, or the World Championships. And at the same level, they get the exposure too as well at the national level.
Keith, what about your personal contact with people who've used this building? Because you've been involved in college athletics at RCC. Mm-hmm. What do they tell you about the experience here, the importance of this building?
Well, you know, it's an icon for folks, not just on the professional, but high school level, collegiate level. Just in terms of the whole, I remember talking with a young lady that went to Madison Park, She's gone on to be a reporter now. She was interviewing me for a story. And I kind of flipped the switch on her. So, well, tell me about your experience. And she said, you know, as a high school athlete, we were kind of intimidated coming in here. But the thing is that it was a transformative experience. We know coming to the Reggie, we had to be ready. And it's just so much, not so much from the standpoint of the high school level, but also for the RCC athletes, the RCC athletic program, Roxbury Community College athletic program. Every year we're a perennial powerhouse in men's, women's basketball, men's, women's track and field. So we have a place, we have a leg up on everybody else. But what's probably in terms of my contact and the way I kind of look at the way this facility is to be a resource. It's a state facility. It's a state resource. We should serve the entire state. And again, you know, we have the advantage, the Boston Public School, like Rick says, has the advantage of being available local to practice. But during the practice times, if you could come from Milton or, you know, wherever you want to come from, and you could come into practice during that time, facilities available to you.
Yeah. I mean, Madison Park is, you know, there's a very short distance between Madison Park and the Reggie Lewis. But, but in the mind of a high school student, what's that like when you go into the Reggie?
Well, you know, I think it could be intimidating because, you know, somehow TV makes you bigger than life, and it's very intimidating to see these fast times. And then there are folks that really look at the Reggie as that's the place to go. We've had 41 world or American records set on that track in 20 years. No other facility in the world has that kind of a record. So when you come in here, the expectations are so much higher. So it's kind of intimidating, but it also, folks, the high school athlete or collegiate athletes look at it as a place of destiny once they get there. This year we're hosting the ACC Track and Field Championships. There's some real good athletes there. Last year we hosted USA Track and Field Championships, NCAA Track and Field Championships. So, you know, we got a reputation of being a fast track. And so for an athlete, it's a little intimidating, but it's also rewarding.
Rick, one of the reasons that this event is taking place is to raise some money to maybe maintain things, replace and improve things at the center. So what are the most important needs?
Well, for the facility itself, regarding the track facility, is the track can only last X amount of years with the wear and tear that when you use it every day. If you think of everyone like your street, when you drive up and down, there's going to be wear and tear. There's no plows like last winter, but so the track facility itself, the running track itself has to get replaced every so often, and we just replaced it for the second time now. Usually Mondo, the facility, the surface that they have, it's a great surface, lasts 7 to 10 years, but you have to treat it. It's like anything else, like your roads and maintaining it. And then equipment always has to be replaced, you know, because it takes a heavy toll sometimes with the usage, like the long jump, the high jump, different things, and keeping the facility up, the barricades. A lot of people come through this facility. Just from the Mass State Track Coaches Association, we estimated about 50,000 kids over the winter.
So Keith, we should mention, I know this event is to get the endowment in better shape here. So talk about what's planned on October 2nd.
So the endowment is established for two things. One, in the late Bob McIntyre's name, and Frank Mooney, who's the current executive director of the Mass State Track Coaches Association. And one, we kind of took the approach is that, you know, they put so much into getting this facility built. We want to honor them. And Frank Mooney's still around, still alive, and got more energy than we do. So I want to establish an endowment in honor of their name, and also to use those proceeds to use, as Rick said, to help the center with some maintenance and upgrade. But it's October 2nd. We're having a gala. We're having the Manhattan's performance part of the concert. We're selling tickets to the event, and really trying to build an endowment, hopefully with some 6 figures or higher, that we could use the principal, have the principal remain and earn into do some minor details, maybe not to replace a track, but some minor things to upgrade the facility and keep it going.
And what time on October 2nd?
That's October 2nd. The VIP reception starts at 6. The concert kicks off at 9.
And if people want to go or find out more, what's the best way to do that?
They could call the Reggie Lewis Center. They could get on our website, the Roxbury Community College website, and there's information there about the gala that they could access information on that.
Thank you both very much, Keith McDermott and Rick Yates.